Hey Aquarius, how y'all doing? What's up guys? How's your November going so far? A lot going on, right? It's a lot. But it's good. If you can make it through Scorpio season, you can make it through anything. You make it out alive! All for your benefit, though. So this is Selection Radio. On in the background. I put the link below because it's awesome. So let's get into it. Let me turn the music off. Okay, now that we're hyped. Alright guys, let's see. This is your weekly reading. Let's see what comes up for you guys. So, Scorpio, that's your 10th house of career. So, some big moving and shaking, some aha moments maybe, some transformation happening with your career, like some shit taken off, stuff revealing itself to you, stuff opening up, things you didn't know, now you know, coming to the forefront, potentially. So let's see what the Angel Oracle card deck wants you to know for this week. Let's see what pops out. Shout out to my Aquarius friend. Actually, I just got his... I'm frozen. There it is. Shout out to my Aquarius friend who is working on his clothing line and stuff. He's super dope. I just got his sweatshirt in the mail today. Thank you. So excited to open that box up. I have Mars in is in Aquarius. So like, you know, I got some of that in my chart. I rock with you guys. Some of my best guy friends are Aquarius. Shout out to them. They know who they are. So 2 cards came out. So let's see if we can get another one before we start. Just see what we have. Oh, wow. Some of you are about to have a child. I got change in direction, and then the next card is child. Like, wow, okay. Or this could be about your child if you have children. Change in direction. Or this is about a change in direction in your career. Maybe this is something you've wanted since you were a child, since childhood. Because this card also refers to our inner child. So it's not always like directly about children, right? Because not everybody has kids or whatever. So change in direction says, the changes you're experiencing are divinely directed by your newborn willingness to open your heart to love and our guidance. You are protected now and in the future. So follow your path to the happy outcomes you desire. I think my camera keeps freezing. Sorry, excuse my nails. The gel polish is just needs to come off. And then you have child. So even you see these cards together, like this is super new beginnings. If this is not about your child or children or having children. And if you're not planning to have children, I want to take some precautions because something might be happening. You care deeply about children and they readily respond to your love. All children, including your own inner child, require love, affection, and attention. We can clear and open your heart and schedule so that you can give more time and energy to children who need you. And maybe this is true for some of you, focusing more on your children. You know, Maybe you're taking some time, maybe with your career, you're learning, maybe there's a balance that you're learning to strike with your family and children and the time you give to them, and your career and time you spend away from your family and away from the home, and you know, how much you're out in the world versus how you're there with your children or child. That definitely comes up. Or this just is a new, really new, fresh beginning, a direction in your career that you're hoping to start, and you're venturing in a new direction, and it's something you've wanted, like I said, since you were a child. This is like, could potentially be a dream of yours. Okay, let's see what else comes out. I'm waiting for something else to pop out. There it is. Wow, family comes out. So like, this is definitely striking a balance between your career and your family, or the people around you. This could be your friends, your loved ones, your relationships, and essentially those that are close to you. This situation is rooted in an emotional experience with a family member, which we can help you to understand and heal in your mind and heart. Surround this person, yourself, and the experience with calming blue light and many angels. Be open to the gifts within the situation and allow yourself to feel peace. Huh. So this is definitely about your family, guys. And like I said with, wow, and then what do you desire flipped out. So I think maybe you guys might be in between a rock and a hard place with your career and your family life and striking a balance, because what do you desire comes up. It says you now have the opportunity to write the scripts according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, they'll rush into your life as if by magic. And so maybe this is a long time coming. Maybe you have really wanted to strike that balance, and you knew how important it was to, like, you know, spend more time with your children and your family and be around and be more accessible and be more available to them. And now it's just really hitting you in the face. Like, hey, you know, what do you want? You know, and maybe you're in a rock between a hard place because maybe things are really taking off with your career and things have really been happening for you. And it does require a lot of you, and you're figuring out, okay, how do I straddle the fence? How do I find a balance between, you know, giving to my family and being there and foster my career and follow my desires as an individual, right? Because we are individuals outside of our children, family, and significant others. There is our soul and our soul growth and our individual path that we also need to adhere to, and those desires are equally as important, right? And if not more so, because if we're not aligned and our cup is not full, we are not going to be our best selves with our family, significant other, and children. You know, we can only give so much if we are within ourselves are not fully fulfilled in what we're doing and how we feel about the direction of our life. So, what else was I going to say? So yeah, I think this is something that you really need to address, because this came out really strongly. I mean, look at, there's like children in all three of these cards, like, and family, significant others. I mean, that's the message to me is really clear. This is almost like for a specific view. I don't know how many people are gonna, this feels so specific to me, but even I can think of my Aquarius friend who really, like, this is a hard balance to strike for him, because his job requires so much of him in late hours and, you know, traveling and, you know, doing a lot of overtime and extra work. And when you have young kids and a small, you know, young family, or just, you know, your significant other, your family, whatever, you know, it takes a toll on them and it affects them. And it affects you, because, you know, you want to be the best that you can be. You want to be there for them, and you want them to feel supported and loved, and, you know, you don't want to be leaving anybody out in the cold, you know? I don't want to make it seem like you guys are just being career money hungry, because this is near and dear to you as people close to you and the brotherhood of those that are in your life. I mean, that's important for an Aquarius. Like, that's one of the things that makes you so awesome, is that you are there for the people you care about. So release and surrender. So I think maybe it's just taking some time out to, like, I think the Scorpio energy can be very intense, and it makes us feel like, oh my god, like, sound the alarm, like, ah, chaos is intense, is a lot, because it can punch you in the face. I mean, the realizations of this sometimes can really just knock you over, you know, with how they just come way out of the depths, and you're forced to, like, look at this deep-rooted, seated thing that, you know, is in front of you, and you can't ignore. So I think right now this week, just take some time to release and surrender to that energy, and know that the answers are coming. If you're having difficulty striking a balance with this stuff, know that it's all going to work itself out. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. And even maybe it's just opening up some dialogue and some communication about it with your family, and coming up with ideas and solutions together to figure out how you can best be around and be there and be supportive, and also still continue to foster some really great headway you've been making in your career and want to make in your career. I think this is something even too, you know, maybe lean on your family and your significant other, whoever's in your life, to help you, you know, work through some of this stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, you've got to sit with yourself too, and really take stock of what you want, and make what you want a priority as well. And I think strike a balance, because there's a change in direction. So something's going to give, something's going to happen. It's upon you now to, and I think you've been needing to do this for a long time, Aquarius. I think this is a long time coming. I don't think this is anything that's like, oh, I didn't know that. I mean, right? I think you've known this for quite some time. And especially as air signs, sometimes you guys can get very detached and, you know, kind of get off adrift into something, and before you know it, everybody's like, hey, did you forget about, we're over here. Hi, float back over here. I mean, you know, sometimes you guys can really get carried away and adrift in what you're doing, and it's great to have that level of detachment, because it can keep you moving, and, you know, you feel like you can make a lot of progress out in the world that way. But when you're detached and cut off from your family, you know, that can cause some tension and some issues within that dynamic, and even within yourself, because now, you know, you're realizing like, oh shit, I probably have been quite attached and aloof, and not been, you know, thinking about the needs of my children and my family, and the people close to me have kind of neglected some of that, you know. And that could be all it is. And maybe it's some conversations, and maybe it's just rearranging of your schedule, or being more cognizant of your time, or following up with people if they text you back or call them, to just try to be more available and say, hey, or just even explaining, hey, I got a really busy week. I'm going to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for calling, reaching out. You know what I mean? Love you. See you. Talk to you soon. Whatever you got to do to at least let people know that you're there, and you haven't forgotten about them, and they are still a priority. I think sometimes for Aquarius, like I said, in air signs in general, you guys it's very easy to just, you know, get swept away in other things and what you're doing, and because you're not always working from an emotional, heart-centered place all the time when you're out in the world, you can get it's easy to be very detached from those things, and sometimes within that, maybe you're not giving enough merit to your family and friends who might have had concerns, or might have voiced to you how they felt about, you know, not getting to see you as much, or, you know, how that's affecting you know, that your relationship with them, or whatever the case is. So I definitely think that maybe there's some release and surrender of maybe, you know, listening to to those whisperings of, you know, the people around you who are wanting to be more inclusive and more included in what you're doing. It doesn't mean you have to give up one for the other, but I think it's striking the balance and finding a way that you can include all of these things so they mesh together well, and finding ways to kind of incorporate your family. Maybe it's working from home some days of the week, or, you know, maybe it's you know, taking your family to some of the work events you have, or, you know, I mean, this is very specific message, obviously, but I think you guys get it. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Aquarius. I will be back next week with more weekly messages for you guys. All my information is below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Love and light. Bye.